a lot of really good friends and a lot of really good teammates. So minutes left of qualifying to see who will be on Dolmage 5, a GTSL veteran, some would say.
Hello. Yes, Dolmage, you haters for this season. We're very excited to get things rolling as we start in qualifying here at our race 1 with about 12 minutes to go. Shortly, we'll start seeing some times.
So right now we're with Deathstroke, one of the faster drivers on the grid. I'll just scroll through here and give a little bit of introductions to the drivers. We did a little bit of this in the test, but I'll just go through a little briefly again for people who are new watching with us. So far on the grid, we have Big Bad Wrestler, who is with us for a second season after his brief stint in GTE cars last season. And he is teammates with the illustrious TX Executioner. Also a very, very, very consistent driver.
A little bit of a slide here, I think.
A little bit of issues there.
You think one thing you want to notice, these tires do take a couple laps to get up the temperature. That's one thing we've always been
good
learning.
3 to 5, yes.
Maybe a few laps before we see some 2-minute lap, but that's got to be just an out lap.
And we're having a little bit of netcode issue as well. I don't know if you're seeing that at home, but obviously he isn't going that fast through the dirt. A little bit of a net. Oh, okay, yeah. Really bad this evening for some reason.
Hey Jet, can you get the map up, the track map and everything?
Yes, for sure.
Yes, there you go.
Lots of drivers, nice and spread out. Just waiting. I don't know if you're seeing this netcode, Kevin. I'm just quite a little technical difficulties for the first round, as always.
No, everything looks good on my part here.
Okay, just me then. Lovely. But yeah, so I'll continue down the list. So Big Bad and TX are on Team Southern Execution in the red and white cars. The other team on the grid today is veryAneSa, who is from our fellow German, up late nights for these rounds at 8 Eastern. And he is teamed with Deathstroke. Pretty young team here, I believe. Two pretty young guys, both under the age of 20, and
young guys, but they're heavy hitters. These are former GTSL champions, so
both
if your
very
money's
fast.
on one team, I mean, it wouldn't be bad to put it on this team of Deathstroke and veryAneSa.
And then going down the grid, in the second place now with a 147.262 is Schmigs in the green, very flashy livery, green and black and white car. Mr. Schmigs. Another definitely GTSL veteran. Yep. Yes. And then as he goes. And then a newer driver to the grid is Sether 317. Very consistent. Hasn't really been able to show his stripes too much. Wasn't able to be with us for all of last season. So we're looking for a full-on assault this season. And last but certainly not least on the grid today is Mr. Consistency himself, Lumatic 12, who some of you may know from the YouTube community, has his own channel, does different highlight clips and just general driving videos of himself. Just all you can say about Lumatic is his consistency. I mean, he's always there, he's always present, he's always in it. He's always has a really, really well done strategy, well thought out, good on the tires, and he's always a threat. I do believe. Yeah, and always perfect tires. He's just always consistent, and he's always someone to watch out for. No matter what his pace might be on track, he'll somehow surprise you and end up on the podium somewhere. It is fantastic to watch.
So looking at the time so far, not sure how official these are, but at the moment we have Big Bad at the top at a 146.253, and veryAneSa not far behind with also a 146. So just about 7 minutes to go left in qualifying. So we ride on board here with Big Bad Wrestler, who at the moment does have pole.
He's a little bit slow on this lap. A little bit slower, but
I do believe Big Bad Wrestler will be a competitor in this season, and I do know he is one who prides himself on not doing much practice because, quote, he says he is not a wuss. But needless to say, we do expect big things from Big Bad Wrestler.
Schmigs is pretty much dead on his fastest, so if he puts in a good third sector here, he could move up. Only 4/10 off of veryAneSa. Or yeah.
Let's see what Smigs can put in here as he approaches the final turn here at Barcelona. Down the long start-finish straight here. Really important to get a good exit on the last turn.
And he's 5/10 up, so he moves into second place.
Smigs goes to second. With 6 minutes to go here in qualifying.
Does veryAneSa have an answer?
Yes, he's in the final sector now. Little slide there, but keeps it good. Really pushing hard, you can tell. He comes into the final corner here. You want to carry a lot of speed onto the straight.
No, that must have been an outlap of some sorts.
Just into the pits after his first.
Deathstroke up into second.
Deathstroke now into second.
He's in the pits
still
himself.
At the moment, Big Bad.
Schmigs pushing
Definitely
to try to.
Proud. Deathstroke also went back to the pits, so perhaps those competitors are happy with their time and want to make a few last adjustments, which is never a bad thing in Project Cars. Make sure you got all your settings right before we go for a full hour race. Make sure you got everything correct. We'll see Smigs here, who's trying to improve.
Oh, pulled out of it.
And it looks like he decides to.
Oh, a little half spin there by TX.
Definitely looks like a lot of guys are still coming to grips with this car. It's a long race tonight, so hopefully there are some issues. They will be able to figure it out early on, you know, get in a rhythm, get going. Anything can happen. We do know that, Dolmage. I mean, if you guys remember the preseason race, we had a big wreck on the first lap involving two very strong competitors. Even one of those competitors having to go a lap down did end up winning the race. That's how close this series is and how good drivers we have. We have Sether here in the final sector, looking to improve as well. I definitely think he can improve off of a 150. As Sether crosses the line, will he improve? Doesn't look like he has improved this lot.
Only 3 minutes remaining. It is getting a little close to when these drivers will have to kind of start. If they're going to put in a lap, they will have to be pretty much on track now to have the tires in the right operating range.
veryAneSa and Big Bad are back on track. Let's take a look at veryAneSa, because he's one person I do think that could improve from his time, perhaps. As we see a big slide, big drift there. As I do believe he's going to start his flying lap here. That's an interesting way to get heat in the tire. Are you seeing that type of driving? But I do believe this will start his flying lap, so he will definitely get another lap in. Let's see what happens. Very big drift here that we are seeing.
Yeah, he does look like he's got the car a lot of oversteer.
I don't know if that's if what we are seeing is actually what he's going on. Yeah, I do believe this is a glitch. I don't believe he would be able to be drifting like that. So let's take a look at Big Bad, who's back on track, who's at pole. Yeah, he's okay.
So I think
guess I am seeing some netcode issues as well.
Yeah, as am I. I'm seeing a lot of netcode issues.
Perhaps maybe we should if you do an onboard view, maybe it'll be better. You want to try that?
Yeah, I can definitely give it a shot.
And Big Bad improves again. Wow, 145.4.
Yeah, a whole second above the rest of the field.
He came to play tonight. He really came to play.
Kev, I'm just going to ask you just quickly, if you don't mind, if you could see, I know right now I'm trying to review the stream just to see if it's netcode, if what it's looking like. I'm not noticing any sound in the stream.
On the stream?
Yeah.
Do you want me to check it?
Yes, if you could, that'd be awesome.
Okay. No, I'm getting sound.
Okay.
Do you mean our voice is coming through, or the?
Everything for me.
I'm getting us. Everything sounds fine. I'm watching the live stream.
Perfect.
Everything looks good, Jack. Got it up here on YouTube.
So qualifying now complete. veryAneSa setting pole position. 144.3.
While we were away. Wow, 144. I told you it was in him. Told you he could. He's one to watch. He wanted to get back out on the track and show what he can do and what he did in season 1. He's capable of doing that again.
So see if Big Bad can improve on this lap.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it. So it looks like as TX is coming around pretty slow, so I think he's done as well. So I think actually everyone is done.
He's in the first sector.
So it looks like we will have veryAneSa on pole position on the front row with Big Bad. In third place is Deathstroke, and following him is going to be Schmigs. And then on the third row we're going to have TX and Lumatic. And then on the fourth row is Sether.
Do apologize for some graphical issues with the broadcast here.
Yes, very.
Hopefully it will correct itself once the race starts.
One can really only hope.
Yes. But all in all, that was a very competitive qualifying session. If you look at the times. veryAneSa really pulled a good lap right at the end. 144. They only won in 144s. As you see those two teammates bumper to bumper on the grid. So we have a few minutes here before grid lights go green.
Yeah, so veryAneSa from Big Bad on the front row. Then the second row, Deathstroke and Schmigs. On the third row, TX from Lumatic. And on the fourth and final row is going to be Sether.
Yes.
So with these new cars for this season, we won't really actually know you know, who's got the better starts, who's got the better long run pace. We also, I'm not sure, I was talking to Big Bad and a couple other guys earlier, a lot of the guys weren't really sure what strategy they're going to try to use from the race. They were going to try to see how the cars felt with these weather conditions when they were on it, to try to decide whether or not, you know, they were going to try to run lighter fuel and take a stop, or if they were going to try to go the whole way. So it will be close, I guess, on a full tank of fuel.
You said the word close. That's what we definitely expect for in this season. Close racing. And that's what we definitely want with a Radical SR3 prototype car. We expect close racing as we're about to begin here.
The lights are building up.
Lights go.
And we are green for season 1.
We are live here.
And it looks like a great start from Big Bad.
It's a long straight here. See who has the best
Oh yeah,
run.
Big Bad moves up alongside. Oh,
Little nudge.
a little bit of a touch,
Wide.
but
Let's see what if anything happened behind. We switch back to the TV views. Make sure, hope everyone made
looks
it.
pretty clean.
Yes, it does look pretty clean as Scepter goes a little wide, but all in all, everyone looks to be filing out good as Smigs goes in for inside pass on Lumatic, I believe.
Yeah, Smig's doing a little defending, I think.
As we have the two teammates, the two TX Executioner teammates in the red car.
TX would have had a phenomenal start.
Anything can happen on lap 1. You do know that. As we're approaching.
Two teammates getting very close, and Schmig's making a move. On the outside, he's going to have to play careful, though, not to fall trap.
Schmig stays had a good run on the outside, and he still does. He's there, but I mean, in the next corner, he will not have the right. So I do believe TX.
Yeah, TX will be able to push through.
It, yes.
And Big Bad, obviously.
Front, veryAneSa, Common Collective.
Pulling a 2.3 second lead already on lap 1.
Yes. He's got a little bit of a lead, but his teammate Deathstroke there. Big Bad, well, everyone's kind of in line here, but
so Schmig's
the
into
good
the
thing about
pits.
these cars, good thing. Oh no!
Didn't see any indication of a penalty.
Yeah. Hope we can. Could be a drive-through.
There was no indication, but yeah, it could be.
Cycle back to yeah, it looks like he's rolling through the pits, so I do not believe he has stopped in his box. So perhaps it could be a drive-through.
Yes, it could be a false start as well.
That's what I was. Yes, that is because he is now rolling back on track. That's unfortunate for our Portuguese friend, Mr. Spigs. But anything can happen. It's early on.
Yeah, lots of racing to be done. There's no reason to give up hope yet. Definitely put your head down and keep trucking.
We right on board with our third place here, Big Bad Wrestler. Settling in here, but man, you can see in the distance, veryAneSa's got a decent lead already. He's got to be feeling pretty good, but still knowing anything can happen in this long race, as it looked like Deathstroke got a little loose there.
Get a little loose, yes, and starting to fall into Big Bad's grips. Definitely laying the pressure on. 6/10.
Fortunately, one of our longtime competitors, VW, couldn't make it tonight. We definitely expect to see good things from him this season, as he's one of our strongest competitors. But wishing all the best to VW, as he may be tuning in for our stream. When we say hello, VW. If you are out there, we know you have some family obligations, so hope to see you again soon.
I think he's probably just too tired from Petite last night. He would be
it looks like veryAneSa As veryAneSa has put out even a longer lead, perhaps.
Yeah, 3.6 seconds, so another second that last lap that he was able to take out.
Yes.
And Big Bad and Deathstroke battling definitely won't help that gap come down.
Does look like is that the biggest lead on or battle on track? Would be the battle for second. Let's take a look at TX Lumatic, see what's going on there. They were everyone looks to be kind of filed out.
Yeah, a little fanned out, getting some space and kind of just learning the track and perhaps, you know, maybe collecting themselves before a big push.
Here, TX, right?
Yeah, mistake from TX.
I believe that was TX who had a little half spin, but didn't look like he lost too much. But it does give Lumatic
a little bit of room to play with.
It looks like this is the battle for fourth. Really,
yeah, and TX
really a gap then to second. As it looks like, can we look at Big Bad and Deathstroke as they look to be very close as well on track. We've got two battles. We got a battle for second and a battle for fourth.
Yes, however, I think this one's going to come to fruition here. I mean, you saw the last sector. TX took a lot out of Lumatic. Thought maybe he was going to take a look there, but did the smart thing and let off to fight another day. Lumatic a little wide coming up the hill.
As our competitor Smigs, unfortunately, had to hit the drive-through. Is just finishing the lap, turn one. I know he's got to be frustrated, but it's TX who's right on Lumatic. Whoa! As Lumatic goes off into the gravel. That will give TX fourth position.
A rare mistake.
Lumatic made a mistake.
But I'm wondering as well, yeah, will Souther be able to capitalize on this?
I do believe Lumatic's back to speed, so let's take a look at the second place battle if you can, Jack. Yeah,
it looks like it's spread out a little bit since last time we discussed. I think actually just recently in the second or maybe the beginning of the third sector, Big Bad Wrestler made a mistake there because I saw the time kind of shoot up just very recently.
And I am going to have to step out for a few minutes. I will be back in a few minutes. I apologize. But Jack, you got everything under control. I will be right back.
Sounds good. Oh, it looks like Lumatic was able to pull away from Souther a little bit in that last sector. Big Bad again putting a little bit more pressure back on Deathstroke. He's got that gap to within a second now. Let's see if he can capitalize on anything here. A little tighter line. And what I'll do is maybe I'll shut my mouth for a little bit and let you guys enjoy the sound of these new Radical cars, kind of get acquainted with them. Take a little lap around following Deathstroke on the black mirrored Southern Executioner car. And Deathstroke doing a great job of just being able to keep Big Bad at bay. You know, giving him enough that he can kind of sit in that dirty air, but not enough to really get an opportunity out of it. We'll take a look at the leader here, just setting some nice consistent laps. Well, it does look like we've got a little bit of action for Lumatic, trying to go around the outside of TX. Not able to make it stick, but he is very, very close now. Again, pushing that outside envelope. Lumatic putting TX under a lot of pressure. Oh, and a little mistake from Lumatic there, going just a little wide. Ooh, again, a little mistake there from Lumatic, just pushing him out of that second margin now, giving TX a little bit of room to breathe. They're within 7/10. Big Bad is within 7/10 now of Deathstroke, so able to make up a little of that time that he had lost earlier. Let's see if he can catch him up. So let's not forget a player in this taking a drive-through penalty is Schmigs. He's lapping around as fast as the top three. So he's definitely got the pace. Catching up, going 3 seconds faster a lap than Seth, the car ahead of him, and Lumatic. So, with 47 minutes left, lots of time for Schmigs to make up the places to be able to, get a good result and get some championship points, which is ideally what every driver here wants to do. It's the first race, so trying to get a little bit ahead of the game is always a benefit. However, it is a long season and there's lots of time to make up these points. So, one mistake, whether it be him or ProjectCARS2 system, sometimes known to give you a little issue here and there. The good news is he will be able to make that up for the rest of the season. But it looks like he's pushing very hard to try to catch back up. Let's go back on board here with Big Bad Wrestler, who looks as if he's starting to reel in Deathstroke a little bit. Still kind of has the room. Deathstroke still has the room that I think he wants. Still 5/10, half a second, which means a little more in these cars, being that they're a little slower. Quite evenly matched. If you look at the lap times, 47.5 last lap from Deathstroke and a 47.3 from Big Bad. Very close. Getting very close now. A little mistake by both of them there in the same corner. Hopefully they can get back together here. lap, the last lap. Right, so across the line, 48.3 for Deathstroke, a 48.4 for Big Bad. So yet again, just staying within a couple tenths of each other.
Okay, I'm back here. We have an issue?
No issue. Just lots of on-track action here between Big Back and Deathstroke.
I will be here till the end for sure. Had a little personal issue to attend to, but everything's good now. Don't worry.
Absolutely no issue. I was holding down the fort just fine, I think.
As I see here, the second place battle is really heating up.
Yes, actually, it's just starting to tighten back up again. However, it was really close earlier, and the battle just kind of got away here, but it's just coming back now.
But man, veryAneSa definitely still has that big lead, as he's already into turn 1 now.
Yes, an uncharacteristically slower lap last time. I mean, you know, running the same pace as second and third, but a little slower compared to what he has been running the rest of the race, where he's usually a little second faster lap.
It does look like this is the only battle on track at the moment. Big Bad and Deathstroke.
Yeah, Schmigs will be catching. Schmigs actually passed Souther, but he will be catching Lumatic.
Oh, wow. Wow.
As he is setting about two seconds faster a lap. So
great job, Mr. Schmigs.
Around approximately 10 laps, Schmigs should be up on Lumatic minimum.
What do you think in terms of pit stops? Do you think we will see some tonight? I mean, I know an hour race is kind of borderline. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, from the drivers that I talked to, it will be close. Fuel wear is a little higher if you're pushing, which you know, drivers like Deathstroke and Big Bad will be doing. So yeah, it's really anyone's guess, which is fantastic because none of these drivers will kind of know what they're going to do. What you have to hope is that Schmigs doesn't need to pit because of that drive-through, and he'll be able to carry through and maybe take advantage of a different strategy call and make up that deficit. Ooh, and a little bit of a slide from Big Bad, which kind of loses the momentum he had from the first 2 sectors where he was really catching up quite nicely. Still lots of racing left with 41 minutes and 40 seconds left. You know, everything is all to play for. And, you know, these drivers really need to start focusing on just settling into a groove.
Everybody looks to be in line. Yeah, settling in is the key word. Get comfortable with the car. See how the tires are.
Let's take a quick look here while these two are kind of starting to tighten back up again. Take a quick look at here. So Lumatic is in the... Okay, so Lumatic is in the first corner section here. And Schmigs is just entering it. So
first corner.
This battle will tighten up here. And as this battle gets really close again.
Schmigs could easily make his way up, and you know, looking at Lumatic, TX isn't too far in front of him as well.
Oh, a little mistake by Deathstroke there, going a little bit wide. He's going to let Big Bad close up even more, and Big Bad on a real fast lap.
Oh, he does close up.
Yeah, a lot.
Then he gets a little loose on the exit of the corner. Whoa, we have a...
and into the wall.
Big Bad lost it. I wonder if he has damage now. That was,
yes. I definitely think he would have at least some aero damage.
Looked like he hit on the side of the car, but he does stay out. So.
And unfortunate as it looked like it was a complete tank slapper. I mean, it just completely went back the other way.
Well, now what I'm interested in is that Deathstroke has some clean air and doesn't really have to worry at the moment about Big Bad. Will he be able to put on the afterburners and maybe try to catch our man at the front who's been there the whole day, veryAneSa?
Deathstroke was 4/10 faster the last lap.
Oh. Will we see that lead come down? Can Deathstroke push a little more? We'll see.
Schmigs into the 147s. And he's the fastest man on track right now.
Fastest? Yes, that is correct. Smigs with that beautiful green livery. Personally, my favorite looking car on track, I do believe, the team livery.
Very loud, very Schmigs.
It does look like he has a little damage on his side here, if you're looking there.
Yeah, I think that may have happened from the first... Yeah, I think that may have happened the first couple laps there.
I do believe he... I do believe turn 1 he got a little... got into TX, possibly. Looks like he might have some wing damage as well, but
rubbing his
we're
racing.
seeing good times by Smigs, so...
Yeah, so if we look again, Lumatic.
Yeah, it's...
both into the final sector together.
Was that 5-second difference? Got about 5 seconds on it?
Yeah, about 5 seconds. Actually, about 4.5, 5 seconds. Yeah.
It looks like everyone's spread out at the moment, but take a look at Deathstroke now, who's just
he has closed up the gap about a second in the last 2 laps, so about half a second a lap. He's been closing in. Like he had 8/10, almost 8/10 up the last lap. So maybe we'll ride on board with him, just to kind of see his pace, see what's.
Oh, I think Big Bad is really lost even some more time on track, because he wasn't too far, but now lost a good maybe 5 seconds or so. So did Big Bad Raffler have another issue?
Yeah, Big Bad with a 148.1, so a pretty quick lap actually last lap by Big Bad.
I do believe it was this lap he was slow. So we'll see the times when he comes through as Deathstroke approaches the final corner here at Barcelona.
It's odd that it's showing Deathstroke's car as being red. I didn't think it was.
Yeah, that is. I am seeing that. That is strange.
ProjectCARS things.
As we see our leader in a 147.
Yeah, so it looks like veryAneSa is answering to Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Maybe to play some head games.
Does look like Big Bad, I do believe, is pitting. Yes.
Oh, yes.
I guess I was correct. It looked like he did have an issue. I saw he was slow. And it does look like he is entering in the pits. That's unfortunate for a guy who had really good pace in qualifying. Yes, he is pitting, and he is away, which is good. Not the end of the world here. We could easily see him make his way up. If others have to pit, pitting on early could be an advantage. We'll see.
Yeah, so he'll actually come out.
As we see Commentator come by here. We will see if he will.
He will come out ahead of Sether, and he should stay.
Place, or it does look like it. It does look like it. Yes.
I think he'll stay.
This is a long straight. So I'm wondering if he must have had another damage issue during that lap.
As we see Schmigs. Oh, it just must have been that code. It did look like Schmigs was having an incident there. Time?
It does look like Schmigs is... It was 5 seconds. What is it now? It is now 2 to 3 seconds. Schmigs is there, 2 seconds.
It's unfortunately just Schmigs' car seems to be getting plagued with netcode issues a little bit.
And you know what? You look at that, TX is not that far ahead. You know, Smigs very well. We could see a podium for Mr. Stiggs, and if having to do a drive-through early on and coming back for a third, that would be a phenomenal run. Something definitely to be proud of.
Yeah, where do you think that Schmigs should be aiming for here? Like, what should be Schmigs' goal, I guess, for a finishing position?
I think the goal should always be first place, but realistically, if he had to come through with a drive-through, I think fourth would be a great result after having to perform a drive-through penalty.
I think if you look at Schmigs'
third is definitely obtainable.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. With Schmigs' pace, if he can sink that,
it does look like TX may have made up a little more time in this last lap.
It does look to be a little 6 seconds
farther
ahead
away from. Yes, it looked like it was. Perhaps Lumatic needed to slow a bit now.
Seems to be getting played with more and more.
Maybe he's feeling the pressure from Schmigs.
Schmigs' car has it the worst. Very. So Big Bad now starting to push. This will be his first.
Does it look like Sether may have lost some even more time? Because maybe he had an issue. But yes, the only battle on track really looks to be Smigs and Lumatic. We take a look at them again here. That's about a second, it looks like. Yes. Oh, and Lumatic, well, still seeing a little bit of...
yeah, a lot.
Yeah. Apologize for this.
It looks like they're right beside each other, too. Unfortunately, the battle's a little hard to visualize.
Perhaps we should, let's check in on our leader. Let's see, veryAneSa, if we can.
Does look like Schmigs will pass Lumatic down the straight.
Yeah, this is hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And here we see our leader, veryAneSa, who looks to maybe set a little bit more time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's pulled it out to almost 10 seconds now. It was 6 at one point. Deathstroke did claw back a little more time, but it just looks like both teammates are pushing very hard. Now, the one thing they do have to worry about is, both pushing each other too much, and perhaps maybe wearing out the tires a little too much, wearing the fuel down a little bit too much.
We are steadily approaching halfway with 31 minutes to go in this race. See what happens in the second half.
Now, for the team championship side of things, I mean, what we're looking at right now is a very, very strong outcome. And I think that I could turn around very quickly. Like I said, we were kind of discussing some of the issues with both teammates kind of pushing each other the way that it does appear they are, with both drivers setting very quick laps seamlessly. It almost seems as if they're trying to outdo each other. However, the team championship right now, you would have to give it to the German-American racing team. which is their nationalities and their team name, of veryAneSa and Deathstroke. You know, coming in first and second, a 1-2 for the team will obviously be a fantastic start to the season. However, that shouldn't dissuade TX and Big Bad either. There's lots of points at play for the rest of the season. I was discussing that earlier with discussing Schmigs, how you know, perhaps this race isn't going to be perfect due to his issue early on.
Yeah,
I mean, there's lots of points to play for this season.
Smig's now about 6 seconds to TX. We'll see if he can bring that time down a little bit here.
We're both setting fairly similar lap times last lap.
Yeah, but still looking at those lap times, our man at the front, veryAneSa, 147. Been consistent.
Oh, veryAneSa in the pits.
Oh, wow. Well, let's see what Deathstroke does as he comes by. Is he pitting as well? Yes.
So both cars pitting.
Yeah, this will be very interesting. We'll see what happens. Maybe this was the plan, as it looks like TX is pitting as well. Everyone's pitting. And veryAneSa's away. Where is Deathstroke? And
Deathstroke
where is
just coming away now as well.
Okay, yeah, he gets going. Long pit lane here.
And TX now
oh, my mistake. TX
passing
did not pit.
Deathstroke.
veryAneSa just getting out of the pit lane. Here is TX on hot tires.
Yeah, this could be close to the race while veryAneSa tries to warm up his tires here.
And there's Smigs into third place. Can Smigs make it the full way without pitting? Don't know.
So it does look like Deathstroke actually gained a little time from those pit stops. Now only 8 seconds. Or no, I guess that's relative. So actually, no, losing quite a bit of time, and behind Schmigs and TX. Yes, but I mean, even if you look at with TX and Schmigs in between, it will be difficult for him to, you know, whether he likes it or not, he's going to have to battle through those cars unless they end up taking a pit stop. However, I don't see Schmigs taking a pit stop anytime soon.
Yes.
I could be wrong. If he hasn't taken one yet.
You gotta think that was a team order, as Deathstroke and veryAneSa pitted the exact same time. I'm sure they were in communications. Hey, we're gonna pit this time.
Yeah, not giving anyone the undercut, which is fair.
Yes.
And with individual pit boxes, it wouldn't make a difference anyway, right? So
as we look here at the battle between Smigs and Deathstroke, it's not too far. Let's take a look at Smigs here. Yeah. Deathstroke, one of our toughest competitors, and Smigs, who's really had a great resurgence in Season 3. See what happens here. We have these two guys, second and third, TX and Smigs, two guys, in my mind, really deserve a win in GTSL. I would be more than happy to see either of them on the first place and podium. But we have veryAneSa and Deathstroke right in it too, and they've won a lot of races. What's going to happen at the end here? 26 minutes to go. Yeah, it looks like veryAneSa is also putting some time on TX. Yeah, he really made up time.
In a 58.6.
I don't know if anyone has anything for veryAneSa tonight.
However, as we know, All it takes is one mistake, such as Big Bad.
Yeah.
One mistake, and I mean, it could really, really affect you.
We've seen a lot of clean racing tonight. A lot of people kind of filed out. Not too many incidents, but you know sim racing and you know Project Cars that there's always drama.
Yes.
Anything can happen.
And the other thing, you know, that we need to take into consideration too is that the sun is starting to set. The track temperature will be changing.
Yes, that is true.
So the drivers will have to worry about their tire temperatures and how the weather or how the daylight is going to affect that. The track will be cooling down. Deathstroke now within a second of Schmigs.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can also see TX in the frame. Yeah.
Second place, TX, yes.
Deathstroke matching his best first sector.
Wow, veryAneSa just did a 145.
145.9. Wow, yeah, it's very fast lap.
He's been in control of this race, even after the pit stop. As you can see, the sun starting to set. A lot of shadows on track. Seems like a few drivers have their lights on. You can see Deathstroke there. Right on Smigs. See where he brakes. No, I think he had to slow up a little bit. I think he had a run, but he's right there.
And that's the thing with these two young drivers of veryAneSa and Deathstroke. Backs out of it. And that's the thing with these two drivers, Deathstroke and veryAneSa. Yeah, very mature drivers. You know, they're not kind of the young, brash, you know, inexperienced drivers that you know, perhaps some people would give labels for. You know, they're very smart, very methodical, well thought out, very respectful, and very mature thinking. I mean, you just can't say better things about these guys. These two drivers, being as young as they are just absolutely fantastic.
And on the straight there, pretty much Smigs and Deathstroke were bumper to bumper. I'm wondering, would that create a little bit of a draft? Because you can see both of them are moving a little closer to second place TX here.
Yes, I definitely think that they're both pushing each other. I mean, you can see in the lap times too. TX last lap with a 149.332, 148s, 148.0 for Deathstroke, 148.4.
Well.
Yes. So this will become a three-way fight.
Three-car battle soon.
It will very soon.
Yeah. As the sun starts to set here, will we see complete darkness by the end?
I think it'll be close. I think it will get close to complete darkness. It'll definitely be dark. It'll be headlights on for sure. Very good run. Deathstroke on Schmigs this lap. Decides to pull out once again. Schmigs with a late but defensive line. And Schmigs really making that car
veryAneSa made his way through some lap traffic. veryAneSa got through Sether. It looks like this three-car battle now will soon be approaching Sether at the back. See how lap traffic works. Can one of these guys cause a pick or whatnot? Take advantage of car. But yeah, this is our battle on track for second place. 3 cars. And you know, not too far behind is Lumatic. You know, he stayed in there. Anything can happen. 3 cars start battling. You know.
Oh, and Schmigs. Oh, it could be netcode. Could be netcode. Yeah. I think so as well.
Like I was gonna say, 3 cars get into each other. You know. Lumatic's right there.
And it does look like Schmigs has pulled out a little bit of a gap.
Yes.
And is a rally car driver.
He totally is.
Yeah, he's lots of pace out there in the gravel traps.
He's the only one taking the dirt line.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Well, very good visuals though. The sun setting in that corner. Did actually looks like TX did actually go a little wide there.
Really? Did Smigs go a little wide? I cannot tell.
I don't think so. I think Schmigs is netcode. Like TX doesn't look like he is. I think it's just Schmigs. And it's odd that Schmigs' car has been kind of the biggest culprit to that. Okay.
Maybe we can switch back to the TV view. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I think Deathstroke is having some issues.
Giving me a migraine.
Yeah, I think Deathstroke too is having a little bit of issues with that as well, because he's not really sure where Smig's car is on track.
Looking at it, it looks like they're both definitely.
No, and Schmigs goes by TX.
They both got around Sether. It looks like. Did we miss that? Yeah. Sether is now. They're now through Sether. We must have missed that.
Oh, a little wide.
This Smigs now through Death. Smigs gotten around TX, it looks like.
Yeah, that was on the main straight coming into Elf.
Wow.
Yeah, oh, and very, very close Deathstroke getting to TX.
You know, I'm curious. Smigs doesn't have his lights on yet. I'm wondering if he had some damages. Are his lights possibly damaged? Because this is getting to the conditions where you really want to have your lights on.
And it could also be that they do have their lights on, we simply just can't see them. I know that is something that ProjectCARS does have issues with.
Never know with ProjectCARS.
Yeah.
But this is still a 3-car battle. As, wow.
Oh,
we have an issue.
Oh,
Boom,
no.
right into the wall.
Hard into the wall, TX.
Wow, he's still... Yeah, he's...
On the straight, too. I mean, a very, very odd place to lose the car.
You know, it looked like he wasn't on the racing line. He was racing 2x2, and here comes Lumatic. Is he gonna take it? No, TX doesn't let him have the line. But Lumatic has the momentum here. Is he gonna get him? We'll see.
And I mean, you would think that TX has quite a bit of damage from that incident.
Yeah,
I mean, he hit the wall very hard on the straight.
That was a big hit. It looks like he
cuts the chicane there to
no, he cuts to go to the pits. He's got a pit.
Yeah.
And I do believe he hasn't pitted yet, so all in all, that's not the worst because I
just lost a lot of time. Lost a lot of time.
But now we still have a battle here for second. But the question we have with 17 minutes to go, can Smigs make it the whole way, or is he going to have to pit?
Yeah, that is kind of the main question, right? And I mean, if Schmigs, regardless of where he finishes, doesn't have to pit, I mean, you have to say it's fantastic strategy call.
Oh yeah, he won't.
And you have to imagine too, you know, think of it this way. Imagine if he didn't have a drive-through penalty, he would be
correct.
Right with. Arguably he could be ahead of veryAneSa. Oh, and Deathstroke with a very rare mistake. Very rare mistake.
Missed it.
Very unlike him.
Does he have damage?
No damage. Didn't hit the wall or anything like that. I think it's just, like I said, I think the tire temperatures are going to catch some drivers out. I mean, it is quite dark now. Definitely should have your headlights on. And he might very well have his headlight on.
Will he stay out? No, Smigs goes into the pits.
Into the pits.
We'll see where he comes out at, though. As here comes Deathstroke.
Deathstroke will for sure. Second. Yeah, Deathstroke will for sure. Now will Lumatic.
Here comes
Sether unlocking himself.
Now into the last corner. Yes.
Yeah, Sether unlocking himself. Lumatic, into the last corner. So Lumatic. So Schmigs unable
let's
to
take
go.
a look at Smigs, but let's see if Smigs can get his pit, right? Let's look at Smigs in the pits if we can. I will he's moving again, yes.
Yeah,
well done,
moving.
Smigs. Well done. This is a man who has had some issues with ProjectCARS pit systems, so good to see him going.
However, unfortunate. I mean, with 50 minutes left.
It's a long pit lane here. It's a long pit delta.
50 minutes left. Big Bad, I don't think he'll have to pit. Lumatic.
No, he already did have to pit for damage. He pitted already.
Did Lumatic pit?
I'm gonna say no. No.
Yeah, I don't think Lumatic's pit. I would bet any money that if there's someone who's gonna go the full race.
Yeah, you could make it is Lumatic. And here's the question: does Deathstroke maybe have a little damage after that off?
I don't think so. He didn't hit the wall. He didn't hit the wall. He didn't hit anything like that.
Okay, but we'll have to look at his lap times.
Yeah, veryAneSa sitting a 1:47.3 last lap as well.
Wow.
You know, pulling out a huge gap now of 17 seconds since Schmigs came in.
Now 1:48. I do assume that when they did pit, they did not change tires. So you got to think, getting towards the end of this race, tires are gonna really start to go.
Yes, I don't think the German-American racing team took any tires, either cars.
Yeah,
the pit stops were very quick.
I don't believe any car. I don't believe any team would have taken tires. With this just being an hour.
So yeah, it looks like Deathstroke able to set a 1:48.1. So I don't think that there any damage. That's not indicative of any damage at least.
And now 17 seconds between first and second place. Anything can happen in sim racing. We do know that. We do know that.
So Big Bad is only 8 seconds off of Lumatic. Oh.
As we see a little spin as you say his name.
There's a little
issue.
Where is that? That's right after Elf, right? The first sector.
Yes, right after.
So Schmigs now is.
And is that Schmigs? Now Schmigs can see Big Bad. Or is that TX?
No, that is Schmigs.
What happened to TX? Did TX
TX had that damage and then had to pit for that.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did pit for that. Yeah, that's true. So Schmigs, yes, okay. Schmigs, I said 4th place. He should be proud of a 4th place. And look where he's at, battling for 4th. And he's good to go at the end. And it does look like after he pitted, he either turned his lights on or we're now seeing the headlights of Smigs.
Yeah, so maybe he just did. And the other thing is sometimes in the commentator's booth it looks darker than what it actually does on track.
Yeah. Well, let's ride on board for Smigs for a little bit and let's see how this looks from his point of view. You can do that. Here we go. Yeah, not completely pitch dark. I will say this track looks very nice at complete darkness. It's got a really good set of lights all around the track, but it looks very beautiful now at sunset.
Yeah, it's a little pink sky and everything.
But this is definitely a track that
Schmigs with a 1:47.1, so that's his fastest lap, I believe.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, I made up so much time in that braking zone. To Big Bad.
We do believe our fastest lap we saw was veryAneSa at a 1:44. Was that? Did we see him?
1:45. 1:45.9.
Okay, 45. Wow.
But we've rarely seen any 1:46s. Most of the time, our fastest laps have been 1:47. So 1:45.9, which is very, very quick.
Yeah.
However, Deathstroke taking some time out of veryAneSa. I know he was up to 18 seconds at one point. He's now down to 16.2. Now 10 minutes left. I don't know if that'll be enough to perhaps catch it.
But this is our battle on track for 4th place. Maybe Big Bad had a few spins. His tires.
Ooh, a little wide.
He does have a huge spin there. That's about where TX had his issue. Little.
Yes, and that just stemmed from just pushing simply a little too hard. The car was swinging out wide, and to attempt to try to not give anything back to Schmigs, just push a little too hard, and that ended up costing you. No, so what happened what happened was that Big Bad just he was coming a little wild and tried to keep his foot in it, but what ended up happening is he just went a little wide into the gravel trap, and it just kind of tore the rear end away from him, and then tried to counter sneer it. It snapped back, and that was the end. So 146.8 now from Smigs. So Smigs,
about 8 seconds to Lumatic.
Most likely on low fuel. He's setting 4 seconds faster a lap than Lumatic right now. So I mean, with 10 minutes left,
Lumatic may be saving. You do know Lumatic may be saving
fuel.
No,
yeah, 100%, 100%.
We don't believe Lumatic has. If we can take a look at Lumatic, I will be very interested to see if he is going to be looking into the pits soon, because he is in 3rd place, been running, but does he need to make a pit stop? We don't know.
What I'm trying to do here is get a look at the rev lights and see if he's maybe shifting early. And
yeah, that does look like a little early there.
So perhaps saving fuel. Because if you do look at it, I mean, Schmigs with a 146.8 and Lumatic with a 151, that's 3 seconds faster a lap.
Yeah, he looked like he was a little slow to get in the throttle there. Could he be saving? I don't know. 8.5 minutes to go.
Is that enough for Schmigs to catch? Yeah, so Lumatic, I mean, looking at Schmigs' shifts, is definitely shifting up early, trying to save some fuel.
Well, we'll see Lumatic here. Does he pit as he approaches the main straight?
No, he does not.
Yes, he does. Lumatic is pitting.
Oh, he does,
Lumatic
too.
is in the pit lane. Well, let's see where he cycles out, but Smigs now into 3rd place.
Wow, what a fantastic recovery drive by Schmigs thus far.
And where will Lumatic cycle out? Well, that was a quick stop and go. A little splash. He's got to be a little frustrated, but hey, you know Lumatic, he likes to
yes, I mean,
push it, because we have seen Lumatic win a race on fuel mileage before.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, he's a man of strategy, so he was...
Yes, unfortunately it didn't work out for him tonight.
Yes, obviously trying to push the fuel to its limits, and you know, try to make it with the no stops. Obviously a gamble, and it almost worked out. I mean, he was sitting in 3rd. Maybe if he was able to...
He still got a really good time. Unfortunately, TX really had an issue with the damage and then having to pit. I do believe Lumatic will keep this position. So let's take a look at Smigs, who might be our could be our vote for our most entertaining driver of the night.
Could be the driver of the day.
Driver of the day, yeah. That's what I meant. He's got a long way to Deathstroke. I don't believe that can be met up, but hey, that team of veryAneSa and Deathstroke, you'd only expect them to be, you know, at the front of the grid anyway.
Yeah, that'll be a tough team to beat this year. Not unbeatable, that's for sure, but it will be tough. It'll require a lot of discipline, a lot of consistency, because, you know, as we've seen this race, veryAneSa and Deathstroke, very few mistakes.
Yeah, I wanna with 6 rounds this season, I kind of want to ask them, kind of just tongue in cheek, what would they think if their team won every race this season? I think they would probably laugh at that and be like, ha ha ha, yeah, I don't know, but I think deep down they could think, you know, that's something that could happen. You never know.
It's certainly an attainable goal, that's for sure. However, like we said early on, missing BW, definitely a contender.
He's a very strong competitor.
And the other thing being, you know, is who else would we add? You know, there's a lot of interest from other parties that aren't currently in the championship and aren't a part of GTSL yet.
I hope to see Moniker come back, and also Confused at Night.
Confused at Night,
I do know both of them are interested.
both of those drivers. I actually had an inquiry today from another driver who was interested. Really liked the media side of things, which you know, a little pat on our back. Had some questions about the rules and stuff.
Get that as well.
Yeah, so hopefully, you know, I gave him a message and clarified, and hopefully we will see him on track in the coming weeks. Because
we also hope to see Pro Astronaut back out.
Yes,
if you get a chance to watch this, man, we really miss you. We could definitely use you the rest of the season.
And the other thing is, you know, a lot of people last season were a little concerned with the longer format and everything else. We completely overhauled that. You know, this season is a short format, quick calendar, some sprint races, some longer races. It's kind of got a good variety.
We'll have some hour-and-a-half races as well, or one or two later in the season, and we have our next week good segue, will be our first sprint race season, which will be 30-minute races. Next week will be all at Brands Hatch, the Indy circuit and the full Grand Prix circuit.
So stay tuned for that. And so sorry, Kevin, just to repeat yourself there. That's next week.
Yes.
So next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
I do believe.
that you will hear from us again. So if you didn't get enough of us, which you know,
I think the drivers are gonna love when I know Brands Hatch is a favorite. I know Smigs is a big fan of Brands Hatch, but also getting to run the Indy layout of that. That's anyone's game. I think anyone can run. But if you know the Indy layout of Brands Hatch, that's a bull ring, a lot of close racing. I'll be very excited to see that round. That's one of my things I'm looking forward to the most this season, is seeing him run the Indy circuit at Brands Hatch. Yeah,
and so that's the thing. You know, I think the one big takeaway from race 1 so far has been, you know, these cars are great for close racing. Well, it's that, and you know, very dominant performance by veryAneSa tonight. But you know, at the same time, very close racing. I mean, considering they have 7 drivers on track tonight, lots of battling, lots of intrigue, different strategies at play, different team orders. It looked like with German-American racing team pulling both cars at the same time.
This is one of the more technical tracks. We did see some spins and everything, so it would be expected here with tight turns and everything. But glad we didn't really see any contact between anyone. You know, we didn't see any bad moves. Which,
no, yeah, so
racing,
so far in my opinion, everything's been pretty clean. Everything's looked pretty good. Some good passes, some good on-track battles. Yeah, and I mean, the main thing I want to highlight is, you know, these cars are quite easy to not easy to drive, but they are attainable for anyone who's a veteran or a beginner. You know, they're not impossible. They're not hard to tune. So people that are new to that kind of game can jump in and start right up and be competitive. And you know,
if you're not into tuning, this car has a very good baseline. So you're right in competition even without tuning with this car. I have noticed as well. So
yeah.
I mean,
and so the basis of it is that
if you want to join
the base of it. I mean,
definitely in it.
I was skeptical of the SR3 platform, not because, you know, it's obviously proven in real motorsports, but as a sim league, you know, it definitely has been able to cook up quite the spectacle tonight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the rounds.
I think it's going to be our closest season ever still.
I would agree.
With
yes.
BW coming back, he's right up there. You know, Deathstroke can win any race. veryAneSa can win any race. Smigs is recommitted. Big Bad, can't forget about him. How good was he at the start of this? Mm-hmm. How good was he?
And man? Even then, you know, back to 4th place. And I think if he had,
it looks like he just overtook Lumatic, I believe.
Yes.
Or has he always been 4th? Missed that.
He might have overtook Lumatic in the pits.
Okay.
But yeah, no, he was able to battle back to 4th, which is going to be a good result.
Well, I'm interested here as 15 seconds to go. Will veryAneSa, he could definitely slow up here, as it looks like he is going to. Yes, he is slow. Yes, he will. It does look like veryAneSa will get the checkered flag here.
This lap, yes.
Not confirmed. I mean, he flashes his lights. I think he knows. But is this official? Yes, he gets
that is a checkered
flag. veryAneSa, our race 1 champion, well deserving.
Yes, I mean,
very excited for this guy.
Dominant performance tonight by veryAneSa.
He's got to feel good, not winning a GTS, not competing in one since 2017, starting off season 3. Best way you can.
Yes.
Here comes Deathstroke out of the final corner.
This will be a 1-2 for the German-American racing team.
See if he flashes his lights as well. He goes over to the team.
And across the line.
Second place.
For second place.
And next to cross by will be Mr. Smigs, who I think with if he gets a 3rd place, is a great comeback.
Fantastic race by Smigs.
He's happy. He's flashing his lights. That's my vote for driver of the night.
Smigs. And I would have to agree. I mean, spectacular performance by him. Next across the line will be Big Bad Rassler,
who it must have towards the end made some more time. Or maybe Smigs. It
did look like he was catchy a little bit. Next across the line should be Lumatic. It'll actually be Sether. Sether will cross in front of Lumatic.
Disappointing night for TX for sure.
Yes, especially because
TX is a guy who definitely has a win coming his way someday, eventually.
And last across the line will be TX. I mean, he had a fantastic start to the race too. I mean, he popped right up into 3rd place. Just did a fantastic job. And it just didn't work out in the end.
If we look at the lap times here, veryAneSa, 1:45. He was prepared. Did a lot of practice.
Schmigs with the second fastest lap.
Top here to be. Yes. Wow. Hope to see these 3 and even more, fighting all season. So with that being said, any last words before we, move on to next week, Dolmage?
The most important thing I want to stress again is, this platform is obviously proven to be competitive. It's proven to be very close racing. So those of you watching the stream, please take a look at the forum. All of our information is down below in where the comments are, and a link to the forum. Check it out. Check out the rules. Maybe if you have any questions, feel free to ask myself, Dolmage5, or the commentator and administrator, Streetspark 101. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions at any time. And to clarify, things that people want, things that people need in a championship. The reason that GTSL was created was to cater to the drivers and cater to the everyday player who wants clean, fast, and fun racing and can't find that in public lobbies.
This season we are a little bit more relaxed, but we have great competition, so you'll see a lot of professionalism, a lot of friendships on track, but also we're a little relaxed. We'll work with you. I mean, if you want to drive or not, there's not a huge commitment, but what we ask the most is just, take a look at everything. If you find this on YouTube or whatever, take a look at us, look at our past races and what we have for this season. Main thing is check out the forum. Everything's on there.
Yeah.
So with that, good race tonight. Congratulations to veryAneSa, Deathstroke finishing 2nd, and Smigs 3rd on the pole with a great run, and I think everyone will agree the driver of the night. So we'll say good night here, and we'll move on to next week at Brands Hatch. Hope to see a lot of the same people and then maybe some new people as well out there.
Yeah, and again, if you're interested in racing next weekend, which is October 14th, it'll be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're interested in racing in that race, just go onto the forums under the Radical Cups section, under those threads, and go find the registration thread and driver sign up and just fill out your information. Add us on PSN, and we will be happy to get you into the next race and the rest of the championship. Thanks, guys, and have a good night.